Good evening, welcome to the English News Bulletin. Hope you had a restful Sunday, and for this edition we'll begin with the headlines. RPF Inkotanyi members have noted that the party's achievements over the last 7 years will act as a significant boost against other political parties when it comes to the July general elections. As the 12th May marks International Nurses and Midwives Day, health sector workers, particularly nurses and midwives, highlight the Ministry of Health's 4x4 plan as a promising initiative to address prevalent challenges in their daily duties. On the international scene, Al Ali Sporting Club, the Egyptian hosts of the 2024 Nile Conference of the Basketball Africa League, BAL, secured qualification to the tournament's playoffs here in Kigali.
In Africa.
It is a pleasure to have your company on this Sunday. My name is Olive Nete. Now to the news in details. As part of his state visit to the Republic of Senegal, His Excellency Paul Kagame has held a tete-a-tete with President Bassirou Diomaye Faye, and they discussed ways to further strengthen the already existing bilateral relations between Rwanda and Senegal in key sectors including tourism, trade and governance. President Faye later hosted President Kagame to a lunch alongside Prime Minister Osome Sonko. It should also be noted that President Paul Kagame is also expected in Guinea on Monday for a state visit in that country as well. This follows the visit to Rwanda by His Excellency General Mamadi Doumbouya in January this year. To other matters, the government of Rwanda has issued an announcement stressing that Burundi should not associate Rwanda with the internal problems of that country. The announcement noted that there is something clearly wrong going on with Burundi for its government to accuse Rwanda for the recent grenade explosions in Bujumbura, Burundi's capital city. It also observes that even though Burundi has a problem with Rwanda, this country has no problem with Burundi. The statement concludes by calling on Burundi to solve its own internal problems and not associate Rwanda with such despicable matters. To matters regarding election, RPF Inkotanyi members have noted that the party's achievement over the last 7 years will act as a significant boost against other political parties when it comes to the July general elections. The observation was made during the party's General Assembly at the settlement level here in Kigali on Sunday. The objectives the RPF Inkotanyi party committed itself in the last 7 years, as outlined in its manifesto, were indeed achieved at a commendable rate, most especially the development of key infrastructure to spur faster economic growth. The party's leaders at the local level attribute this to the good leadership of the RPF at national level, which works to deliver on promises made consistently. During the General Assembly at the settlement level in Kigali, the party's leaders in Kigali also observed on the importance of involving all members in the country's development efforts to ensure that the results are the most effective and that they will last for as long as they need to. This comes as the RPF and other political parties in the country prepare to begin their campaigns for the general elections of July this year. Now to health matters. As the 12th May marks International Nurses and Midwives Day, health sector workers, particularly nurses and midwives, highlight the Ministry of Health 4x4 plan as promising initiative to address prevalent challenges in their daily duties, notably overtime work. Given the substantial patient influx, these medical professionals often commence work earlier than counterparts in other government institutions. Due to their scarcity, they frequently work overtime, advocating for corresponding wage adjustments. Andre Gitembagara, president of the Rwanda Nurses and Midwives Union, underscores the ministry's plan to quadruple the workforce over 4 years as a potential solution to enhance productivity and diminish overtime hours, however, acknowledging budgetary constraints as a significant challenge. Dr. Menelas Nyeshimana, head of the Department of Health Workforce Development at the Ministry of Health, affirms that this program will elevate service quality while also benefiting health workers. May 12th marks International Nurses and Midwives Day, celebrating Rwanda's 15,200 professionals and emphasizing their vital role in patient care and ongoing professional development. We should indeed commend the work that they do on a daily basis. In other matters, the Pentecostal Church of Rwanda has baptized more than 190 inmates in the Nyarugenge Correctional Facility after they received Christ, and those baptized have said they will lean on their newfound to avoid breaking the law in the future. The baptism ceremony was marked festivities and celebrations, and the inmates thanked the prison's administration for facilitating their gradual transformation and called on would-be criminals to rethink the decisions they make, lest they end up incarcerated and a burden to themselves, their loved ones, and the state. ADPR officials have noted that the achievement is the result of the good collaboration that exists between the church and the government, saying they intend to see that it continues. They also called on believers in society in general to welcome their brothers and sisters who receive Christ while in prison and not to discriminate them because such behavior does not reflect the principles upon which Christianity is built upon. 198 inmates were baptized and received by the church on Sunday, while another 31 previously baptized into other denominations were also received into the Pentecostal Church of Rwanda. In more news, on Sunday, various Christians of Pentecostal Church ADPR, together with other various residents from Kamonyi district and other places, gathered for the 30th commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi. During this commemoration event in Nyabisindu sector in Kamonyi district, within the Pentecostal Church ADPR, Fanuel Sindaiheba emphasized the importance of unity among Rwandans, noting how colonialists initially destroyed this unity to sow ideologies of hatred, ultimately leading to the genocide. He stressed the significance of the common language shared by Rwandans as a unifying factor, urging people to disregard divisive falsehoods spread by others. Pastor Isaïe Ndaizeye, the spokesperson of ADPR, echoed this, urging the Christians to critically evaluate teachings as false prophecies can be used to incite hatred among believers. In Kamonyi district, during the same commemoration event, 42 bodies were honored with proper burials. It's been 30 years since the genocide against the Tutsi was stopped. Today, Drosel Mukagatare found the body of one of her 7 children who were killed during the genocide against the Tutsi, and she had no news about her. Despite efforts, survivors still grapple with the heavy burden of seeking justice and closure, as perpetrators of the genocide remain at large, withholding information about the whereabouts of victims' bodies. Highlighting the government's commitment to rebuilding Rwanda after the devastation of the genocide, Minister of Education Twagirayezu Gaspard condemns perpetrators and deniers alike, emphasizing that genocide is an enduring crime with no statute of limitations, reminding them that they will be punished regardless. And by this story, we close tonight's edition. But before we leave, a quick reminder of our top stories. RPF Inkotanyi members have noted that the party's achievements over the last 7 years will act as a significant boost against other political parties when it comes to the July general elections. As 12th May marks International Nurses and Midwives Day, health sector workers, particularly nurses and midwives, highlight the Ministry of Health's 4x4 plan as a promising initiative to address prevalent challenges in their daily duties. On the international scene, Al Ali Sporting Club, the Egyptian hosts of the 2024 Nile Conference of the Basketball Africa League BAL, secured qualification to the tournament's playoffs here in Kigali. And by here we close tonight's edition. On behalf of the technical and news production team, thank you for being part of our news today. Have a fruitful week ahead. Take care and goodbye.